Buff Nation, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday after that dominating win against the Arizona Wildcats. You can tell, you can compare night and day this team in 2024 to last year's team in 2023 with how they've responded to disappointment, with how they've responded to adversity, and they've come back stronger. We've seen them rebound strong from a loss twice this season, and let's get another winning streak going. Right, that is what we want to see us string together. Another handful of wins. I think we're going to be at minimum in every single game these last 5 games of the season, but we're going to break down the performance of the team. We're going to take a look at some different advanced stats from PFF, take a look at the grades as well. Of course, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And also want to just say, guys, thank you so much for liking the Facebook page. Please continue to do that. I have reached over 100 followers, which will help me live stream. I just found out yesterday that I have to wait till my profile is 60 days old to do it. So that's the last thing I need to wait for, and then you'll start seeing these streams on Facebook, which will be great. Now, let's go ahead and get started and dive into this. So this is going to be my, unedited. This is the first time I'm looking at all these grades and stats like that. I like doing my first initial reactions with y'all, like to these things. So let's go ahead and pull it up and get started. No. There we go. That's nice. Shout out to the College Huddle as well. Please be sure to look them up to find podcasts from all of college football, throughout the Power 4 and G5 conferences. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at Jordan Seaton. He has been playing absolutely fantastic football. Credit for Coach Woldholt for continuing to get him ready for this level of play. 39 pass blocks is what we're looking at in this pass blocking. Gave up no sacks, no hits, no hurries. Khalil Benson coming in halfway for Kareem Harden played really, really well. That's awesome to see. Justin Mayers as well with those 24 snaps. And then, Kareem Harden still had a grade of 80.7. So in the pass blocking, I mean, everybody was great. We had 1 sack on the day, led up by Phillip Houston, 3 hurries, 4 pressures. I mean, this game was done by the third quarter. That's how I felt about it, honestly. And the offensive line, just a great bounce back game. Kansas State brought a lot of pressure, and granted, Arizona doesn't have the same defense that Kansas State has, but who cares, man? You play who's on the schedule, and we had a bounce back performance. The offensive line played great. We saw everybody get reps, man. Even Cash Cleveland there for a drive did really, really well. 8 snaps, okay, guys, no sacks, hits, hurries, pressures, and this is a walk-on freshman, a walk-on true freshman. So, yeah, he seemed to even hold his own. No doubt about why they got him here at left tackle. They need to change that. Anyways, we'll continue to go through here. Nice to see Isaiah Augustave have a good day in pass protection. 3 pass blocks. That's nice. Continue to go through here. Hank Zielinskis, rough day. Your grade is going to drop significantly probably when you snap it when the quarterback's not ready. Not the best day from Hank. You can put a fumble on him as well in addition to having a hurry and a pressure. Phillip Houston, I thought played pretty well, but did give up that 1 sack on the day. And Tyler Brown, 15 snaps, graded out at 51.8. I'll need to catch the replay on this before I make some concrete decisions on his performance, as well as Phillip Houston's, those guys. But overall, I'm not going to complain with how the offensive line played too much, because I think overall, the unit played really, really well. Kept Shedeur upright. Shedeur was feeling himself too, getting rid of the ball real quickly, really decisive. Everybody was just on their game more today, which was great. That's what you want to see after a loss. Everybody responded with better focus and effort and attention to detail in this performance on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, which was awesome to see. But let's take a look at the run blocking and see how everybody graded out. So Tyler Brown worst graded pass blocker, but best graded run blocker on the offensive line, the grade of 79.4. So we ran collectively, I think, for about 150 yards or so, maybe just a little bit under that. So that's nice to see. Let me go through here a little bit. Justin Mayers with a grade of 62.3. Who else might be worth highlighting here? Jordan Seaton, this is kind of where he's been in the run blocking, kind of on the lower of the list every week. But that's something that I think he'll get better as he continues to, move forward in the strength program, get more experience coaching, all of that. Kareem Harden, 49.2. Jordan Seaton, 48.8. Haynes Linskus, 50.4. But then you see here, Cash Cleveland, 53.7. Phillip Houston, 54.3. Khalil Benson, 58 overall. So, I think if we're going to start seeing guys like Pro Football Focus, like give us grades in the green, we probably got to be rushing for a heck of a lot more yards. And so that's why you probably won't ever see us have a ton of great, green grades for this or whatever. But ultimately, I thought we did a really good job running the football in this game. To where it kept the defense on their heels. And you saw the effect that the run game had on Shedeur when he was in the stepping back in the pocket, right? When he was dropping back, throwing the ball. There weren't guys around him. It was a beautiful thing to see. And great to see so many of the offensive linemen get in and have their opportunity to hold their own. I think guys overall did really great. That was awesome to see. Let's get to the rushing. Isaiah Augustave kind of had his moment, right? 14 rushes, 53 yards, 3.8 average, but did have a very nice, touchdown run there at the goal line. Again, we're not going to have a super sexy run game right now. That's totally okay. But can we run for 3rd and 4th and short? We did that in this game. Shedeur, 8 attempts, 15 yards. Dallin Hayden, 6 attempts, 35 yards. He had a 27-yard run. That was a thing of beauty. No doubt about it. 5.8 yards per carry. That was really great to see. Led the team, honestly, until Charlie Offerdahl took over in garbage time, and that was a thing of beauty. He had a 39-yard run, 7 attempts, 53 yards, 7.6 average on the day. But Isaiah Augustave as well as Shedeur Sanders, 1 touchdown each. That was great. Getting credited with a fumble that was not his fault. That should have been, they should put that on Hank Zelinskas. But Shedeur Sanders was great in some of this short yardage rushing as well. And again, I just really appreciate it. I thought the mixing up the running backs, how they ran the rotation was, was a little bit more often. And that's what I appreciate. You just want to try and find that hot hand. And I think there were periods of the game where both Isaiah and Down were really feeling it. And I love that. That was great to see. Loved it. Happy. Let's get to the passing. And then we'll get to the receiving. So nice to see Ryan Staub get in on the game. But man, I wish he could have completed that fade to Jordan Onoway. That would have been nice to see. But 0 of 1 on the day. We were just running the clock. But Shedeur Sanders, 23 of 33, 69.7%, 250 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had a couple bad throws in this game that were picked off, right? But outside of that, I think, his 23 completions were great. He was great when the moment mattered the most, no doubt about it. And some of those touchdown passes, like the one to Will Sheppard, the one-handed, that was great, beautiful. And let's go ahead and take a look at like how he was against pressure, depth, all of that stuff. So when kept clean, Shedeur was great, 76.7%. Guys, offensive line gets an A+. In my opinion, man, he only had 5 dropbacks under pressure. Now he was 0 of 3 on those attempts, but who cares, man? When you're only dealing with 5 of your 36 dropbacks under pressure, offensive line gets an A, man. No doubt about it. And not blitzed, 72% completion, 161 yards, touchdown, pick, whatever. but when blitzed was still very efficient. 5 of 8 for 62.5% for 89 yards and a touchdown. You want to make them pay when they're bringing heat, when they're blitzing, and that's what Shedeur did. No doubt about it. Let's take a look at pass concept. Off of the action, Shedeur was deadly 80%, 10 of 8 for 85 yards and a touchdown. That's what happens when you can run the ball effectively. No doubt about it. Off of play action, 15 of 23, 65.2% completion, 165 yards and a touchdown. So he was good in the screen game as well as the no screen. Screen game isn't a huge part of what we do, but overall, big takeaway. Shedeur was just feasting off of play action. The 10 dropbacks that we had for that, and again, it just changes the dynamic of this offense. Guys aren't able to get to him under way less pressure when we can just run that ball for like 4 or 5 yards a pop, right? I mean, what did we average as a team? 4.1 yards. As long as we're over that 4-yard mark, I think that bodes really well for us. So let me get back to this. I'll get to some of your guys' comments at the end. Deep. Yeah, not a ton of deep completions or even attempts, rather. Only 5 on the day, but Shedeur completed 2 of those for 62 yards. It's great to see. And then short game. Like, Shedeur was getting rid of the ball very, very quickly. 14 of 15 for 93.3% completion, 118 yards, and an interception. Oh, man, bummer about that interception, but it is what it is. Not important. 93% completion percentage on 15 attempts is important. That was great to see. He was very decisive. Once he had the football dropping back, he was getting rid of the ball very quickly. I think time to throw 2.01 seconds. That's great. He was getting the ball out very, very quickly. All right. And you can see here with the chart, I mean, he was just deadly over the middle, 8 of 9 here between 0 and 10 yards, and then between 10 and 19, 4 of 6. So it made him pay enough with the deep ball. 1 of 2 right here, 1 of 2 deep right, 0 of 1 deep left, whatever. But, you have to guard the entire field with Shedeur Sanders, and that is something that not a lot of quarterbacks force you to do in college football. He definitely forces you to do that. He was great. I thought he had a very good game, even though he had 2 picks. Like, whatever, I thought he played very, very well. Pocket presence was great. The decision making, he was just on his game. All right. Let's get to the receiving. Lajohntay Wester, man, really playing at a standard to where I think he's definitely going to be drafted this year. 8 receptions on 10 targets, 127 yards, no touchdowns, surprisingly. But he's been able to make the most of it so far. He's been fantastic. When guys are covering Travis Hunter, I mean, he's kind of been that next guy that's really been able to eat. They're paying a lot of attention to Jimmy Horn and his deep play ability as well. And Lajohntay Wester is like the perfect next piece right there to really make him pay. If you're going to pay attention and put extra coverage on Travis or Jimmy Horn, try and take away those guys, well, you see what happens here. Wester eats, as well as Will Sheppard. 4 receptions on 5 targets, 54 yards, and a beautiful one-handed TD. Wow. Drelon Miller getting in the game. 3 receptions, 18 yards, and a nice little shovel pass touchdown. That was nice. Anything else worth noting? A quiet day from Travis Hunter. But I think he did his job on defense more so. Again, I think they really just wanted to take away Travis. 2 receptions, 17 yards. That's okay. Shedeur's got plenty of other weapons to fire to. It was nice to see Jordan Onavue get on the stat sheet. 1 reception, 1 yard. Jimmy Horn, 2 for 9. Savell Smalls, 1 for 10. And I think a first down or close to a first down. That was really, really nice. So, again, you got 11 different guys that caught passes today. Or like in this game. Just a thing of beauty, man. Really is. I guess we can go ahead and go over to the defense as well. Let's see who our top graded defenders were. Arden Walker, yeah, definitely had a bounce back game. I noticed him playing really, really well in this game, holding the edge, getting pressure. He had 2 pressures and a sack, 3 total tackles, 3 stops. Nakai Hill-Green was great. I mean, when you only let up 7 points, pretty much everybody bounced back from Kansas State, right? He had a sack, 7 total tackles, 6 of those were stops. So to end drives on 3rd or 4th down. Chidozie Nwankwo graded really high, 73.4. Great to see. Shane Cokes, defensive grade of 72.2. That was awesome. I mean, had a team high in run defense, 78.2. Chidozie Nwankwo with the 77.2 in run defense. Keaton Wade getting on the stat sheet. I mean, didn't he look dynamic there at the edge position? 2 sacks on 4 pressures. Yeah, 2 stops. Beautiful. I think, I guess both of those came on 3rd down. BJ Green was a menace again. BJ, I'm a menace Green. I got a handful of different nicknames for him. 1 sack on 6 pressures, 4 hurries, 2 tackles, 3 stops. Just a thing of beauty. A bounce back game from Shedeur Sanders, no doubt about it. He had 3 total tackles, no missed tackles, guys. No missed tackles from Shiloh. He had a very nice, tackling grade because of that. 79.7. You'll always take that. Stout in run defense, 67.5. I noticed a couple of those tackles coming in the open field to minimize the damage, as being kind of the last line of security there in the defense. That's always nice. Coverage grade 61.3. We'll have to take a look at that. But overall, really nice, solid game from Shedeur Sanders. Travis Hunter had 1 tackle. We'll look at his coverage grade. I don't think he was targeted very often at all. And, of course, rested in the second half. Let's see if there's anything worth noting outside of that. Colton Hood played really, really well. Let's take a look at the coverage grades here. I mean, we shut everybody down. So Nakai Hill-Green, good in coverage, 72.9, gave up 2 receptions for only 11 yards. Cam Silman-Craig, 2 receptions, 21 yards, and a pass breakup. So that was great. Colton Hood, of course, with that almost pick 6, but another great interception. He had 4 receptions, 48 yards. I thought he did a pretty good job, as well as DJ McKinney. Nice to see Levante Bentley show up well here, but he didn't even have a target. So, whatever. Carter Stoutmeyer, Travis Hunter, neither of these guys were targeted during the game. Overall, I think a really solid game. Preston Hodge, was probably picked on the most, 7 total targets you can see, but only gave up 37 total yards, so on 5 catches. So you'll take that every time, no doubt about it. Shout out to everybody in coverage. I think they really did play well. And again, like Tet McMillan barely did anything in this game. I mean, we could take a look here at what these guys did. But Tet McMillan, from what I remember, didn't really do much of anything. I guess, man, he didn't even receive a target against Travis Hunter. So we kind of shut him up with his talk in preseason about how, he was going to go right after Travis and they were going to test him. He didn't even have a target against Travis Hunter in coverage. Preston Hodge and Colton Hood really did hold down the house, giving up 5 receptions, 38 yards total between the two of them. A+ for shutting down one of the best receivers in college football. No doubt about it. Really happy for these guys. They played really, really well. Again, great to see Nakai Hill-Green, Shedeur Sanders. These guys have some bounce back games. Great to see Colton Hood and DJ McKinney kind of stacking really good performances as well. So absolutely love to see it. I think, that's really all I think I'm going to highlight here. Outside of like run defense we can get to, I think we all just played very, very, very well. Taj McCoy was in there as well. I think we have a very promising edge rotation here for years to come, even after I think we'll probably lose BJ Green to the NFL this year and Deion Hayes. But after that, we got guys that can really fill in. Arden Walker, Samuel Okunlola was really good in this game, I felt. Just got 1 tackle in the run, but he was all over the field. You really noticed him. Again, I think he had a sack or 2, if I remember correctly, going back from the pass rush stats. He was great. Taj McCoy, those 3 guys, Arden Walker, Okunlola, Taj McCoy, and Keaton Wade. How could I forget about Keaton Wade? That's a really nice rotation of 4 edges, and we're going to have more to come, no doubt about it. Um, and we got guys in the pipeline such as Brandon Davis Swain. I guess he'll play more in the interior, but I think he's going to be able to get after the passer as well. So overall, just a wonderful, wonderful game, a statement game. I mean, now we're officially better than where we were last year, and now, I mean, we should have the confidence to go in and win every single game that's left on the slate. I mean, we're continuing to play, just overall, we're playing at a much more consistent level. We're a better football team than we were week one. We're continuing to just improve. Improvement isn't always just linear, right? You have some ups, you have some downs, but you just want to make sure that over time you see that line continue to go up. And that's where Coach Prime has this team. We responded with how I expected this time, because we've seen it, we've experienced it, and the team knows it now too. Like, yeah, we can go out and dominate. We can go out and play a complete game. We can go out and kill the will of our opponent in their own house. We've now done that 2 straight times on the road. 2 straight times on the road. We've killed the will of our opponent. Wonderful to see. So, guys, thanks for sticking with me. This was about 20 minutes long. But I'll get to some of your comments now. And yeah, again, hope you guys are having a great day. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well. Yeah, Colby coming out here. Recruiting should be through the roof next week. Yes, against Cincinnati, late game. So I'll have my coffee ready, and I can't wait to watch it. I mean, Cincinnati coming in with a winning record in the conference. So this isn't a game that we shouldn't be looking past them. No doubt about it, because we got a bye week after this. So all of our attention, effort needs to go towards taking care of this victory, getting to 6-2 on the year, right? Getting to wherever we're at in conference, only one loss in conference, continuing that whole thing. It was, yeah, recruiting should be through the roof. I imagine we're going to have a handful of really exciting visits that are going to start to be announced tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Yeah, Stevie, you're right. It's kind of been funny. We've been able to play a little outside of Nebraska. We've played really, really well on the road. I think we got the toughest environment taken care of week 2. And so it's made going into these other road environments much easier. But yeah, like sometimes at home, there can be more distraction, especially with how lively Boulder can get on game day, sometimes when you're able to get on the road, some teams talk about this, how they're just able to lock in a little bit more. There's less distraction, not everybody asking you for tickets, all those different things. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch and to see and all that. So let's continue to see this team play well at home. I mean, we've seen games, well, I guess CSU wasn't at home. So Baylor, that was kind of an up and down game. North Dakota State. Who else have we had? Kansas State. That was kind of up and down. Maybe that's been it so far. Maybe I'm missing an opponent. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let's take care of business at home against Cincinnati. No doubt about it. And I want to get to this real quickly because Jermaine, like, yeah, you're bringing up a point here. Maybe I'll do a video just where I show Cash Cleveland's like 8 snaps. Dude really surprised me because looking at him in the well off video, it's like, and I've said this before, I'm like, I don't see him playing because he looks like he's still like got some baby fat on him, man. Like to be honest, right? He doesn't look as big as some of these other guys, but I think he played really, really well. He really surprised me. He should be very happy, very proud of himself for the way that he's played. Credit to Coach Woldholt for getting him ready. Maybe he can earn himself a scholarship here. No doubt about it. And I think with Yakiri Walker, I think this is funny. I mean, we've had some offensive linemen, probably leave because they're not getting playing time. And it was nice to see guys like Cash Cleveland, some other guys. Zach Owens got in the game. I think maybe Peyton Kirkland did too, or Yo-Yo Ataya. All these guys. It was nice to see Colorado put basically all their offensive linemen in this game and give them opportunity to play. again, this game you could argue was over by halftime or whatever. So it was really nice to see everybody get on the field, and I think all the offensive linemen played well, and it's something to definitely have confidence in. It was a bummer to see Hank's bad snap. Just that's inexcusable stuff. That's something that you can't ever really tolerate. Um, and that hopefully is the last time that we see it from him. But man, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this whole thing goes. If there's one constant with our offensive line, is that it's always been new combinations so far this year. Whether you like it or not, can't argue with it in this game. Everybody played really well. That's awesome to see. But I think that yeah, Cash Cleveland, he's definitely going to be more on my radar now. And I do want to say, I feel like he has put on some strength and some muscle since he's been here. I'll give him credit to that. But man, like he really did surprise me, man. I just thought he was a little too small, and all that. But I think he played really, really well. Played bigger, looked bigger out there than maybe what you've seen in the summer workout videos, right? CU only takes cash. That's right. Wonderful comment. And this is great point, Spiritual Magic. They were in cover 2 the whole day. Yeah, that's why there weren't a ton of downfield shots, and the middle of the field was wide open. When they play cover 2, I mean, that was just beautiful. Shedeur knew where he was going with the football. The short game is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. And yeah, he was finding Wester a lot. It was great. Paul Simmons, good to see you. Congratulations. I think LSU got the win yesterday. I can't remember. A year ago, national news was all about prime time. Today, all the national outlets are talking Colorado Buffs. See, that's very, very nice. Yeah, Coach Prime's done a great job with this rebuild. And again, you just see the difference in the quality of games they're starting to put out week after week, regardless of dropping one to Kansas State. The level of play that this team has had throughout this year has just been so much better. They're playing like a real football team. They're playing complementary football. They have a defense that makes plays. They play with an attitude. They play with an attitude and hunger that's just infectious to watch. Like they're playing for each other. This is just beautiful, beautiful football. I love watching it. It's a great product. And I think as long as we continue to do this, which I don't think, there's no reason to doubt why that, want to continue. Maybe we really do play every single game this year on national network television, which is just insane. Coach Prime, again, he can coach here for as long as he wants, man. And that's how I feel about it, man. It was great. Good to see you, buddy. Good game, Buffs. Yes, this was awesome. Yeah, Just Flow. I think I should be doing some film reviews this week. I don't think like this past week got really busy for me, so I think I'll have time to do some more. And yeah, I think it would be cool to take a look at Cash Cleveland, see how he did. Maybe some of the other guys. I just try and find random guys that I felt like played really well or that I'd be interested to take a look at on a deeper level. So you guys can look out for those this week. Hopefully, I can get both the offensive and defensive film. Shane Cokes keeps overachieving. You're totally right about this KB82. Shane Cokes has been in a role to where you could argue he's the least threatening out of the starting 4 linemen, right? And but still very talented. And so that's why I think you really see him excelling this year, because last year was mainly Jordan Dominic, and outside of that, seemed like most of the attention was going on Shane Cokes, for those offensive lines. And it's nice to see him get a little bit more space and for him to like totally capitalize on that this year. Chidozie Nwankwo and Shane Cokes have been a great starting front interior lineman for this team. We're doing so much better against the run this year. Man, really proud of everybody on this defense. Eric Morris, next week we become bowl eligible. Yes. Let's take care of business. And again, while we don't completely control our destiny right now in getting to the Big 12 title game, as long as we continue to handle our own, I think we're going to have a really good shot. I can totally see us winning these next 5 games to put ourselves in there in that game at 10-2. I don't think we can get there at 9-3. I think we're going to have to win out in order to get to it. But again, we've seen this team play really, really well. I think Kansas State, they're kind of showing that they've been our toughest opponent in conference play, and it will probably remain that way. They had another very strong victory against an undefeated uh, conference team in West Virginia on Saturday or yesterday. So, yeah, there could be a possibility as long as, Iowa State won a nail biter yesterday against UCF, and BYU still looks vulnerable, but, those guys are ahead of us in the standings. But I could see, definitely a possibility to where CU could get that rematch against Kansas State. I think that would be pretty cool. But overall, like the Big 12 has given you great games all across the gambit. It's been awesome to watch. Really exciting conference, no doubt about it. And yeah, man, like Colton Hood's been awesome as well. I really feel like we're in a good place after Travis Hunter leaves for the NFL this year. I think DJ McKinney and Colton Hood, these guys are going to be really, really great. And shout out again, I think was that RJ Johnson? Was that RJ Johnson who recovered the onside kick to start the game? It was either Brandon Hood or RJ Johnson, but I want to say it was RJ Johnson. Or he got in on another play, but that was nice to see. He's another DB that I feel really good about. We have great size. Our DBs, they can cover, they can tackle, they're big, they're long, baby. How can you not love like the DB room we got right now? All right, let's see. Stevie Davy, what are the thoughts on the progress of the team so far? Man, fantastic. Fantastic. Good, like football teams should be improving and getting better as the season goes on. Can't, that's exactly what's happened. Um, Again, I think we were all pretty frustrated after that Nebraska game. I think the team clearly was too. I mean, uh, it was just great to see this team really lock in and play really good football. Ever since then, from week 3 and beyond, like they've handled business. They've had multiple complete games. Even when they haven't played perfect, they've still been able to win some of these games, or like when they haven't played complete games, they've still been able to win some of these, or just be right in there at the end of the game, like they were against Kansas State. So this team's got a lot of fight, resilience in them. They're built differently this year. When you saw that first ugly loss of the year, you could have seen guys pointing fingers and complaining and all that. I think some of the guys that maybe were frustrated about their playing time, of course, when your team is winning, those guys, those voices aren't nearly as amplified. They're not nearly as loud because it's like, dude, um, we're winning right now. Like we're 5-2. And I think some of those guys have, if they were frustrated, this is all um, just me speaking my mind. It's not like anything that I'm reporting on. Okay, I don't do that type of stuff. But a lot of those guys, I think that could have been frustrated about their playing time, they've left. So now, like I think really everybody is truly locked in and about seeing this thing through. And I think at minimum, of course, we got to handle business. In 2018, we did start 5-0 and lose on a 7-game losing streak, to finish the season not bowl eligible. But this team just has a totally different vibe than the last year with Mike McIntyre, and I think you'll see us handle business at minimum, man. Where I think we're going to be going to a really good bowl game, and again, depending on how the rest of the Big 12 shakes out, we could be, um, in a position ourselves. A conference title and into that college football playoff, which is just insane to think about. Sorry, my connection. Okay. Here I am back. Sorry about this. I had to turn on my hotspot. Alejandro was great. Making those field goals. Well, you have like one or two field goals. He was awesome. We got to be scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That's what we were doing. Yeah, Mata icing on the cake. He was great. With as good as Travis is, do you think Shedeur looks better when he doesn't have to worry about getting him the ball? Man, getting the ball to Travis, maybe. In some sense, I think it's not crazy to think that Shedeur like trust Travis more than any of the other receivers out there. I mean, how could you not? I would too. Although Lajohntay Wester is making a very good case for himself, right? But uh, but maybe I think it more has to do with kind of what the defense is doing. Again, you guys have pointed it out. I mean, not only couldn't Arizona get pressure, they couldn't do that, but they also were playing a lot of cover too. So I think that really bodes well for Shedeur because he knows like he'll be able to play the quick game. I think sometimes when he gets himself in trouble is when they're trying to take away those short throws, and then they're also getting pressure. So he can't get rid of the ball quickly. Maybe he doesn't want to throw into some of those tight windows, and I can understand that. And that's where we kind of got some of the Baylor drives, some of the Kansas State drives, some of the Nebraska drives, to where he's going to hold on to the ball, try and get those routes to develop downfield, but just might not have the time to. So I think it might have to do more with the defense rather than Travis just there, because I yeah, I can't really speak to whether I feel like he just locks on to Travis, but I mean, when he targets Travis, he's really good. So I want to see Travis continue to get the stats rolling. Yeah, yeah, man. Continue to give Augustave the football. Again, I don't care about who it is, whether it's Hayden, Augustave, Welsh. I thought that Augustave definitely did earn, in my opinion, the first crack in this game. But I mean, Down Hayden looked really good as well. That's awesome to see. So just find the hot hand. I'm not loyal or partial to any of these guys personally. I just want to see a run game with a heartbeat. Let's just average over 4 yards a carry, and that's going to give our pass game what they need to be effective. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Really do appreciate all the support, and again, the like on Facebook. You'll see me once my account hits 60 days. I'll start to live stream over here as well, which is really exciting. So yeah, be on the lookout. Maybe I'll start some film rooms tomorrow. Hopefully I can keep the more collaborations going this week as we get ready for Cincinnati. So hit that bell notification. That way you guys will know when I drop a video or go live. Thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Go Buffs.